Tonight on Arts and Minds.
Give this piece right here.
I knew you were going to do something important about that. You get to a certain point in life, what I call my third act, and you realize what's really important. I mean, if you're lucky, you realize what's really important to you. And I'm not interested in making movies anymore. I'm interested in making my life make a difference. This is a work in progress about the World Trade Center bombing. Oh, that's incredible, Mr. Dunn. My involvement with Tinwood Books began about a year ago. I really knew nothing about Black vernacular art of the South. I said, vernacular art? I collect folk art, I know tramp art, I know outsider art. What is vernacular art? I'd like to see it.
This art is generally called vernacular art. It's work by artists who are self-taught. And I think what sets their work apart is the fact that they have such an unbridled imagination in terms of their use of materials. They're not bounded by expectations from the art world, but they follow their own path in their heart.
Jane, could you pull that leg right there around?
This one?
Yeah, pull it around that way. Yeah.
I've grown up all my life with men who like very realistic type painting. My father painted Flemish-style still lifes, and Ted Turner liked very, very realistic hunting scenes. And I was ready to receive a new aesthetic, and this was it. And I'm telling you, everything seems boring after this. It's hard to know what would happen to the art if you took it out of its environment, and yet it has been taken out of its environment. It's in museums, it's in the Smithsonian. It's in my apartment, it's at the Jane Fonda Center at Emory. It's very moving. There are layers in the actual art and layers in what it is about the vernacular art of the South that resonates. It's first of all just the aesthetic. I mean, I have many pieces of this art. It's just bold, it's explosive, it's brave, it's passionate, it's profound, visually. Then there's another layer below that. This is made by men and women who have had no breaks in life. They are people who you would assume, if you heard their life stories, would be angry, vengeful, dangerous, and instead, their art is an art of hope. I remember this from last time, too. What is this called?
That's flying kite.
Flying a kite. For example, Thornton Dial. Thornton Dial grew up in Birmingham. He worked in the steel mills. He has the noblest of spirits.
I just didn't know what art was. I've been making stuff all my life.
The cultural heritage of blacks in the South, which goes back many hundreds of years, but has been like a secret and hidden language that has suddenly emerged in the wake of the Civil Rights Movement, full-blown as art, as American art, as great American art. And that is, of course, the battle faced by people like Dial who make it and people like us who are documenting it.
I mean, we should all be like this. We're just all so spoiled, but if we weren't, we should all make art with everything in our lives. Everything we touch should become a work of art, the way these artists do. It's an art that has had no one paying attention. And Bill Arnett, who is an art historian, has been all his life, is kind of moved this art to the forefront. Out of his own pocket, created Souls Grown Deep Volume 1 and Needed an Angel at a time when I was in a position where I could do that. It needed to have the Volume 2. He said, would you like to partner with me? I said, you know, I'm a former movie actress. I don't know anything about art except what speaks to me. And This doesn't just speak to me, this rocks me, this art.
How are you? Good to see you. Good.
Thank you very, very much. I am thrilled and honored and very, very grateful for this award. My film career, which spanned 40 years or more, made 50 movies, kind of reflects my evolution as a woman. I was, you know, because I'm writing my memoirs now, I'm looking at all my, my movies. My very first movie, Tall Story, it's like I go to this college because all I want to do is meet a tall boy because I'm tall. And I made a lot of those kind of movies.
You mean you can't navigate?
That is correct.
I'll switch it to manual.
And then, when I became a more conscious person, I began to produce my own movies. And I enjoyed that because I could do things that said something and made a difference, but they took years to do. The Doll Maker took me 12 years. 9 to 5 took 3, that was the shortest. I mean, they all took a long time. Well, I'm almost 64. I don't have that kind of time left. So I just think I can do more just with my life directly than making movies.
Hi, I'm Pamela Wiley.
Nice to meet you, Pamela.
Well, since Jane Fonda stopped making feature films, she's thrown herself into philanthropic work and social causes.
Thank you for all you've done. You're one of my heroes.
She's recently given a multi-million-dollar grant to the Harvard Center for Gender and Education. And I think this book, in some ways, kind of lines up both of her interests in both culture and in social and political causes.
Thank you very much. People down here, back down here.
I think she's a terrific actor. And then I like her courage. I like the fact that she has lived her life by her own lights and her own standards, and she has dared to be unpopular, dared to be popular, which can be more hazardous to your health, and succeeded and succeeded and succeeded. Now she's succeeding again.
I've been a Jane Fonda fan since the days when a lot of people stopped becoming a Jane Fonda fan. I realized then what a courageous and truly great American she was when she had the courage to protest the Vietnam War the way she did. And I've just been a huge fan of her ever since. I think she's an extraordinary actress. But aside from that, she's just got so much sensitivity to the problems of the world.
I feel, I can honestly say, like the luckiest person in the world. I've worked hard to be able to feel that way. I've worked hard on myself to try to make myself a better person. I've worked hard to be there for my children. I have very unusual and fantastic children. I have a grandson who loves me and who just lights up my life. I have wonderful friends, including my 2 living ex-husbands, who I care for a lot. I'm writing a book, and I love to write. I have a great dog. I don't know, I mean, there's nothing except peace in the world that I want for.